everybody, my name is Mars. You can call me MG if you would like, and today I am procrastinating working on one writing project by working on another, because that is what I do. The project that I should be working on I don't have to, but in my mind, the one that I should be prioritizing right now is Salvation, my new adult queer religious horror novel. I've got feedback from beta readers that I should be reading. I don't want to do that yet. I am a little bit, not scared, but apprehensive to go through feedback. It just feels like a little bit too much pressure right now. So instead, I'm going to be working on Quite Contrary. This is my sapphic, dark academia, sci-fi horror novel. So I am still in the realm of horror. Maybe working on this project will make me more inclined to work on Salvation once I get this outline done, because I will be outlining this novel. That's the stage that I'm at, and it's a very exciting stage. I really enjoy outlining. The first step, though, where I am starting today, is just going to be going through all of the brainstorming notes that I've taken in my notebook that I have here. I don't have notebooks for each project. I just use one notebook until it's done and write the name of the project I'm working on at the top of the page. So I've got a couple of pages here towards the end. I'm almost done with this notebook. I'm gonna have to get a new one soon. Let me know some notebooks that you guys like using, because I actually don't have any in my stash that are good for this, so I'll have to buy a new one. Anyway, I'm gonna go through those notes, and instead of diving straight into a full outline with index cards, because that's how I outline books, I'm going to do a loose beat sheet, I think. So, you know what I'm talking about? Save the Cat by Jessica Brody involves a beat sheet, which is kind of like a way of outlining your story, hitting all of the major emotional moments that a story usually has. So I think that is the plan for today, is just reading what I've brainstormed and seeing if I can get started on the beat sheet. I don't have a strict timeline for how long I want to spend outlining this book, but I'm hoping it doesn't take me more than a few days. It is Friday today. Tomorrow I have work from 3 to 10, and then Sunday I open, and then I'm having dinner with a friend. Monday I'm off from work, but I am taking my food safety certification test in the evening, so that's going to take a couple of hours. Tuesday I think I'm working as well. Dang. So I really don't have a whole day to work on things. I have stuff going on. That's annoying. Anyway, it's 4 p.m. right now, so I've got a little bit of time to do this stuff before dinner, and then I'll probably work on it a little bit more after dinner, and I will check in to let you know how this first day has gone. Okay, friends, I am back. It is 6:45 p.m., and I think I've done all of the outlining beat sheet work that I'm going to do today. Of course, I could always go back to this later on tonight, but I don't think that's gonna happen. So basically, I read through everything like I said I was going to, and then I started the beat sheet on this page, and I got through the opening image, theme stated, and setup. I don't have any specifics down. For me, the beat sheet is more about the general arc than like specific moments, except for things like the catalyst or whatever, like that are supposed to be specific moments. But for things like the setup, where it's going to be a whole chunk of the story that I'm just writing down, like the characters are like growing closer or whatever, learning about each other. I'm not like saying these specific scenes happen. That is going to be for the actual outline. So I think now that I'm like thinking about it, it is only like 6:45, so I have some time before things. And by things I mean sleep. We'll see. I'm gonna put this away for now and probably do my bullet journaling for the night and get some reading done. Jess is streaming tonight though. Jess from the Hex Library. She's streaming at 8 p.m. for the first time in many months because she's been on a little bit of a YouTube hiatus. So maybe during those sprints, I'll come back to this? Or I might just keep reading. I don't know. We'll see. I will give you an update at some point about what I'm doing. Okay, friends. It is now 9:30, and I did in fact write more during the first hour-long sprint of Jess's stream. I wasn't sure what I was going to do, and so I went to my boyfriend, and in my head I assigned reading and writing to the letters A and B and told him to pick, and it ended up being writing that he unknowingly picked. So I did more of this beat sheet, 2 pages worth, and I've gone through the catalyst through the midpoint during that hour. So like, great work. Like, I'm kind of killing it. I'm very happy with what I've been figuring out, like where certain things are going. Yeah. I guess tomorrow I will pick up with everything that happens in the second half of the book and figure out the general whatever of that. I'm very tired. There is another sprint that Jess is doing, another hour-long sprint. I am going to read during that time, and then I'm going to go to bed because I'm getting sleepy. So I will see you at some point tomorrow. Good morning, friends, and happy Saturday. It is about 9:30 in the morning, and I'm about to go run to the grocery store because we have like no food in the apartment for some reason. We've got some frozen chickens and a couple of apples and almost nothing else. That's a lie. We do have several boxes of pasta because it was on sale last time, so we got a lot. But besides that, we have like nothing. So we gotta do a grocery trip. But when we come back, I am going to get to work on my beat sheet again. Since I made it to the midpoint yesterday, I think that with a couple of hours of work, I could finish up the beat sheet, which would be really cool. I was thinking about it in the shower this morning. I had some ideas for the order of operations of things going on and like where I could place certain moments. So that's cool. I am very excited to get back to work on this. My boyfriend wants to clean out his car and has expressed that he would like some company while he does that, so I might go sit in his car while he's cleaning it out and do my work down there. I don't know, we will see. If it's not like 1,000,000 degrees, I'll probably do that, but if it's too hot, like, I am gonna stay up here. Does it make me a bad person? I don't think so. He understands that it's gonna be super hot, probably, but, I do have to work today, and I will be walking to work, so I will get my time in the heat. Don't worry. I will get it. But yeah, that is the plan. So I'm gonna go grocery shopping, and I will see you at some point in the future when I've gotten things done. quarter to 1 p.m. now, and I have finished this beat sheet. So I've got all of this page, and then all of this page. Done. That's the beat sheet. I did have some trouble with the finale beat. I was looking at the 5-point finale that Jessica Brody breaks down the beat into, and it doesn't quite work for this story, and I think that's because horror just has different expectations than other genres. It's not always going to have a hero conquering the villain and we get the happily ever after kind of ending. Not all horror has that. Not a lot of horror actually doesn't have that. But I did find a different beat sheet that this author on Tumblr made, and I will link that down below if I remember to. And it is specifically a horror beat sheet, and I feel like that ending part might be helpful for me to figure out how I want to structure the ending of the story. But more than that, I really think that horror beat sheet is going to help me with edits on Salvation when I finally get the beta feedback, because I already know edits that I want to make to that story, and I know my beta readers have pointed out things that I'm going to have to change. So I feel like restructuring it is going to help change quite a few things that I already know need to change in that book. So that's pretty cool. But we're not doing that. We're not working on that project right now. We're actively avoiding it. We're working on Quite Contrary, and I guess tomorrow I get to actually do the outline now that I have this beat sheet. I'm a little bit scared. But I think I can put it out of my brain for a little bit anyway. I do have work at 3, and I don't get out until 10, and then I have to be back at work at 11 a.m. tomorrow. So I don't have a ton of time between my 2 shifts because of sleeping and stuff. But I do think tomorrow morning before work I want to try and get a little bit of work done on this outlining, because I don't want it to take forever. I'm hoping to get it done in just a few days, but we will see how things go. Oh, and I'm hanging out with my friend to have a picnic after work, so I'm probably not going to be home until late after work tomorrow. My shift ends at 5, but I'm hanging out with my friend. She's picking me up from work, and I don't know how long we're going to be hanging out. A couple of hours at least. Okay, well, I will start outlining at some point tomorrow, even if I don't get a ton done tomorrow. Y'all, writing when you have a job and friends and stuff is kind of hard. But I will get stuff done and come talk to you again. Hello friends, and happy Monday. I did 0 outlining work yesterday, so I didn't update the vlog at all. I've also done 0 outlining work so far today, and it is nearing 2 p.m. So I have got to get a move on. I have about 2.5 hours until I have my food safety management certification exam. I'm very nervous for that, but it's open notebook, and I've taken all of the notes that I can from the presentation that I was sent with all of the information. I don't know, I'm as prepared as I can be for it, but I have decided during these next 2.5 hours, what I'm going to do is outline. Only for part of it, though. I'm not dedicating myself to 2.5 hours of outlining. That sounds insane. What I'm going to do is pull up an hour-long timer, and I will outline for that hour and see how much I can get. I have my index cards prepped. I'm going to try. Okay, let me start the sentence over. So I am a very chaptery person when it comes to writing. Why does that sound like a helicopter is going by? I don't know what that was. Very bizarre. Anyway, my books have a lot of chapters that tend to be on the shorter side. That's just my writing style. Usually, I am a 1 scene per chapter person. I want to try something a little bit different, and maybe do multi-scene chapters. So I've gotten 30 index cards out, and my goal is for this outline to fit the whole story into these 30 chapters and like combine scenes into the same chapter where I can. So I have no idea how that's gonna go. I just kind of want to try something a little bit different. So that's what we're gonna do. And do I want to set a goal for how many index cards I want to make, or like what percentage of the story I want to get through on this outline in this hour? I don't know. I think I'm just gonna see how much I can do for now, and then in the coming days when I do this again, I can set more specific goals for these outlining sprints. I think that is the plan, but I'm going to do an hour of outlining, and then I'm going to eat an early dinner so that I don't get hungry during my exam, because it is going to be a multi-hour thing. It's not, so from what I understand, the exam isn't like terribly long. It's 90 multiple choice questions, but I do have to go through that presentation again because I was just sent the presentation to go through on my own. I have to actually watch an official guy give the presentation to count towards passing this exam, which is kind of ridiculous, but I guess it'll be better to have that information spoken to me and like get it in my head a little bit better, because it has been a couple of days since I've taken those notes. So yeah, I'm gonna outline and I'm gonna eat, and then any time that I have left before the exam, which it probably won't be very long, like a half hour at most, I will just go over my notes and prepare myself to take this test. So hopefully the next time you see me will be after I've passed this test, because it would be super embarrassing if I had to come back here and tell you guys that I failed. Yeah, I'm gonna go now. I will update you probably not tonight. I don't know, maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow morning. We'll see. Okay, friends, it is now just about 3 o'clock, and my hand is cramping so badly because of all of the writing I've been doing. I got 9 index cards done. That's fantastic. That's so much more than I expected. But yeah, I guess I really just applied myself there. It actually got work done. Crazy to think that that can happen. But I am, I would say I'm about a third of the way into the story, which is good because I'm about a third of the way through the note cards that I want to use for this. So we are sticking to that so far. My hope to not go beyond 30 chapters / 30 index cards, because it's 1 per chapter. I am in the fun and games. The last one that I did, chapter 9, not so fun, not a lot of games. That's going to be a very introspective chapter where my protagonist is realizing just how lonely she is. So, that's fun. Have I talked much about what this story even is? I know I've given you the whole, like, description of, like, the sapphic, dark academia, sci-fi horror, but, I don't think I've actually told you about the story beyond that. I don't know. I will put that on the to-do list to do for tomorrow, because I am actually starving right now, and I really want to eat, and I want to make sure I have enough time to make food and eat. So, yeah, I'm gonna go do that. Tomorrow, I will tell you a little bit more in detail about the story and the characters and everything. Maybe I'll show you my Pinterest board, because I am pretty satisfied with how the Pinterest board is turning out. And then I will get more outlining done tomorrow. Who knows? Maybe if I can get myself to buckle down and get 2 hours of work done, I can finish this, judging by how well today went. That would truly be insane, because I would not have expected to be able to get through this outline so fast, but I don't know, I'm just really vibing with the story today, and like, this week, really. Last week? It is technically a new week, today's Monday, huh? I don't know, I've been really in the mood for this story. I am going to stop babbling now and get some food, and I will see you tomorrow. Okay, I'm back just for a minute to let you know that I did in fact pass my exam, so I don't have to be embarrassed about talking about it in this vlog. I'm gonna go now, and I will for sure see you tomorrow now, for real, actually this time. Good night. Good morning, friends, and I can still say good morning because it is 11:37 right now. Almost noon, but not quite. I have been taking it pretty easy this Tuesday morning. I woke up with a headache, and so I've just been easing into things, and I'm now ready to get some work done. I'm not going to set a goal for how much I want to outline. I just want to work on my outline until I get tired of it, I guess. I don't have very much else going on. Like, I've already checked off a bunch of things from my to-do list. Like, I scripted some YouTube videos, I did a little bit of reading. It's been great. But now I'm going to buckle in and get some outlining done. I think someone is streaming. I think I got a notification about an hour or so ago that someone went live. Maybe Wallace? I'm not sure. But I might hop into the chat of that and sprint alongside everyone else, get work done there, socialize a little bit. We'll see how it goes. I am just gonna get started, and I will update you when I have an update to make. Okay, friends. After one 45-minute sprint, I managed to do 5 chapters, which brings us to the midpoint. I am now up to 14 chapters total, which means, assuming this holds, we will stay under the 30 chapter maximum that I've set for myself. Again, it doesn't really matter if I go over that. This is just something I am trying to experiment with, so whatever. But I promised I would tell you more about my story, so I will. And I will try and get some screenshots of my Pinterest board to put up so you can see that while I talk. But basically, this is called Quite Contrary, and it is because of the nursery rhyme, I guess, of Mary, Mary, Quite Contrary. And there is a character named Mary. There's actually 2 characters named Mary, but I won't get into who they are or anything. I feel like that's a little bit too spoilery for this stage of things. My other main character is Sydney. She goes by Sid. She's actually the POV character. That's a very loud truck that just went by. But those are my main characters. There's also someone named Heather who's pretty important, but we won't get into her thing. She's not actually on page. She's just kind of haunting the narrative, if you will. But this is a sci-fi horror. The sci-fi elements are like cryogenic freezing and cloning and like biological things like that. And our character Mary, the main Mary, her family is like involved in this. That's their family business, is this biological technical stuff going on. The horror aspects involve mentions of cannibalism and also some Frankenstein-esque resurrection stuff going on, and that's also where we get into the dark academia vibes. There's also this like mutual obsession that I feel like plays very well into horror that has a romance element like this, and I'm just so obsessed with everything about this. The vibes and everything are just chef's kiss. I really hope I can do it justice as I write it, but I am now going to take a little bit of a break, and for this next 45-minute sprint that we are now 5 minutes into because I've been chatting, I'm going to get a snack. Should probably get like an actual meal, but I'm just going to probably get a snack because I don't feel like cooking, and maybe do a little bit of reading. just take it easy, and then I can get back to writing afterwards. We're gonna practice moderation today and take things easy and not force myself into overworking things. So, I'm gonna get going, and I will see you in a little while. Okay, friends, it is about 3:30 p.m., and I have now outlined up to chapter 20, so I've done 11 chapters so far today. Absolutely killing it, but I need to stop for now because my hand is cramping so bad. So, I have gotten to about 75% into the story arc, so I'm getting real good progress done. But I don't know if I'm gonna return to it today. I probably could finish it out today. Maybe tonight, if my hand feels better, I will get back to this. If not, I will do it tomorrow. But at the very least, right now, I cannot write anymore. So I'm going to chill out, get some more reading done, maybe watch some YouTube. I don't know. But I'm very proud of the progress that I am making on this. This lighting, absolutely terrible, but it is 8:35 p.m. I have in fact gone back to work on the outline more, and I've finished it? Question mark? I've gotten to what I decided was the ending in my beat sheet, but now that I've gotten here in the outline, I feel like it might not be the end. So I don't want to spoil things. So how do I put this? Basically, the like whole finale, final battle or whatever happens, and then there's like a return to normalcy, but it like feels off for Sydney, my POV character, and she kind of just chalks it up to being like, oh, trauma, whatever, like things will really settle down soon, I guess. But then at the last minute, this last chapter, last page really, in this current plan, there's a switch to let you know that, like, things aren't how they seem. And it's, like, on a cliffhanger at this point in time. Like, this reveal happens and then the book ends in the current plan. And I've seen that sort of thing happen before. I've seen it more in movies than in books, but I have seen it in books. At the risk of spoiling, if you've read, what is it called? Castle of the Cursed by Romina Garber? Is that her name? Perhaps? If you read that book, then it's like pretty much that exact twist that happens at the end of that book happens at the end of mine. And like, you can do it, but I just don't know if it will be unsatisfying. Definitely something that I need to think on. So, the plan is to think about it for the rest of the night and like sleep on it, and in the morning I will decide if I like this ending or if I want to add like another chapter or two to kind of like really close it out, because I really don't know. I might hit up a friend and like word vomit the entire plot to them and ask what they think. That's not the worst idea. But yeah, it's at 27 chapters right now, so I do have a little bit of wiggle room, and I will still stay underneath the 30 limit. So yeah, that's where I'm at now. So I will come back in the morning and let you know my decision, and also to close out this vlog either way. So I will see you then. Good night, friends. Good morning, friends. Happy Wednesday. I am here to let you know that I am calling this outline here. I ended up talking to Crystal about my book. I was like, hey, can I spoil like everything about this so you can tell me if this would be a satisfying ending or not? And she's like, yeah, of course. So I told her as much as I needed to tell her to set up for the ending. I didn't give her like every little detail because that would be way too much, but I told her what she needed to know and was just like, this is my current plan for the ending. Do you think that makes sense, or should we like have stuff after that to like show the fallout of that reveal, or would it be okay to end on this reveal? And basically she was like, well, if it was any other genre, I would say that it would be kind of a weird ending, but horror does play by different rules than most other genres, and I feel like that would be a great ending for a horror book. And I'm like, great, thank you. That makes me feel a lot better. And of course, this could change in the future as I am drafting it and editing it and all of that fun stuff. But for now, I'm finished with this stage of the writing process, and it's very exciting to say that. I love this book already, even though I haven't written it yet, but I just really enjoy the characters and the vibes, and I'm excited to hopefully draft it sometime soon while I'm still obsessed with it. But until then, we have now come to the end of the video. If you've enjoyed it, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. You can subscribe to my channel for more content, and that way I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye everyone!